Alright. Welcome back to the Office Hours Podcast. I'm Kobe.
And I'm Kevin.
And in this episode we have...
I'm Michael, CS major, third year.
And my name is Albert. I'm also a CS major, but I'm a fourth year.
And in this episode they're going to be talking to us about their startup, Acknowledge, and how it started, went into that, and what it looks like for them now. So why don't you guys go ahead and talk about what Acknowledge is, how it started, and kind of what your mission is behind it.
Yeah, I can take it. Then you just fill in any of the gaps. So Acknowledge is essentially a study group platform we kind of created to solve that big problem of like when you're in a big lecture hall, right, and you're pretty shy, you don't know who to talk to, office hours aren't the times that you need to go to. Well, we kind of solved that problem. With Acknowledge, you're able to find study groups that fit within your schedule, find that connection, collaboration that you need. And we also have AI-powered study tools. This is a pretty new feature that we introduced. So if students they don't have that study guide provided to them by the professor, well, we can create that for them, right? Concept explainer, take in Acknowledge quizzes, so they can refine their notes and all that. And yeah, that's just a general overview of Acknowledge. You want to add on to that, Mike?
You pretty much covered it all, but yeah, really for a lot of students to be able to solve the problem, trying to make UIC more collaborative, especially academics per se. So a lot of people are especially us, we're all STEM.
Yeah.
So a lot of the course material, a lot of courses are actually really hard, and trying to do it all yourself. It's not like high school where you can just thug it out by yourself.
Yeah,
It actually takes a lot more help with other people. So that's really one of the biggest reasons why we want to make it so students can help each other without having to know a bunch of people. And then also you can find help in whatever way. So that's kind of the idea behind the AI part of it as well.
That's decent. That's a good idea. So that kind of explains the problem or the motive behind it. But what made you guys actually start and actually go through with it and kind of dig deeper with that? So
both me and Albert, we started we were at this internship at BPI, and there was this workshop. We went to Google to do a tour, and there was this design and think workshap they had us doing, and they were just random. It was a big old sheet of paper, just randomly just think of a target group, and then you just think of different ideas for that. Yeah. So we just thought of the idea for college students since we were both in college, and then we were just brainstorming. I think we came up with 7 different things, just brainstorming just random stuff. And then eventually I think you were the one who said what about a study app? And then the more we thought about it, we was oh, what about I have to find study groups and stuff like that. Yeah. And then it's it kind of clicked. I was I don't think I've heard of something like that before for real, or at least if it is out there, how come it's not at UIC?
Yeah.
And so we were oh yeah, we should definitely do it. So we were we finished the whole design and think workshop, doing that, and even one of the I forgot what she is, but I think she's one of the directors for Google. She came up and she heard the idea. She was oh, I wish I had this when I was in college. And so that was something that was a lot of people they haven't had this before.
And you click and
take
that and go with it.
And then from there on out, we just started building it over the summer, and then we fully released it. I think towards the end of the summer.
Yeah, around August or something like that. But it was great. It was a great experience. I want to also add Mike and I, we had just met. We didn't know each other before the internship. Yeah, so we had just met. I think at the Google spot as well. Well, we had known each other for what?
A week?
Yeah, it was something really stupid like that. But no, dude, Mike's great. He was really easy to talk to as well.
Yeah.
So definitely great person to be working with as well. I just want to add that.
That's pretty cool. That's crazy. So y'all had more than one idea. So what's some other ideas y'all had?
Okay.
I don't remember, dude.
I don't even think I still got that paper on me.
Do you actually?
Right.
You don't throw it out?
No, this is my pencil case. Cause I keep a bunch of the stuff like that. So I should be raw if I had this still.
For memories and stuff?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cause I was cause I still got this thing that they gave us.
So you guys only known each other for less than...
Nah, this is it.
It was 2 weeks, and then Michael was the one that was oh, this is a great idea. I think we should actually build it. And
yeah, it was literally this whole thing. So we went down and this order came up, and I think the study app was that last
one.
Yeah. But it was literally just random stuff.
We were doing the same thing that y'all did, right?
Really?
And my group thought of the budget app to save for college students too. We were thinking about doing that.
Oh, no way.
That's hard.
That's crazy.
Let me sign hard 4 days a week. That's decent. That's decent. That's crazy.
That's
So like, y'all had the idea and y'all decided to do it. What was that whole process like from then on?
Yeah, I mean that
So-
was really it.
So yeah, like the first part was like we originally thought it was like, oh, because we're both CS, like this would be a great resume project.
Yeah,
for
that.
internships and stuff.
Yeah, that.
And then like from like the traction and like the feedback that we would get from people, like we were like this Loki could be more than a project. We can actually like turn this into something.
Yeah.
I know for me personally, I talked about it with my parents, and like actually it was after that first day I talked about it with my parents. And it was like, y'all should actually like do it for real, because like that could be used in like so many like schools in general, and it's not like someone like that's like actively doing it, or like a big company that's actively doing it. And like my mom, like she has a lot to say about it because she just got her BSN and master's in nursing, and like she did it all online. So it's like it's even harder online because like she's working full time,
Yeah.
and then she's also studying for school. But it's like you don't really know anyone online because like you just watch the lecture videos and then like do homework and stuff like that. And so like even if it was like for like online students, she was like that would be great because at least I can find other people to talk to from there. And like if y'all meet up on Zoom or something like that, it's even better like that too.
I didn't even think about it in that aspect either. Like people go to school online, they would have no chance to actually meet somebody. Like
Exactly.
I didn't think about that at all. So when I first heard about knowledge, I was in class too. I think you had came in my class. I think it was you and Fawaz, and y'all were just talking about it. I was like, sure, that's pretty cool. But I didn't even think about the whole like on the wider scale how possibly it could affect it like that. So that's pretty cool.
So do y'all think when y'all started this, did y'all think it would be where it is now, and kind of because this kind of similar to how we started this? Like it was just an idea, and then like now we're actually doing it, and seeing what it takes, and like what it could be. Like, did you guys think it would actually? Was it just something you threw out there and kind of? I don't know. Were you expecting it to be what it is now? Or?
Yeah, I can share my thought. Honestly, I thought it would be a lot bigger at this point, because I felt like the problem and our solution was so strong, right? That it would like spread to a lot of people. The only problem was like we were trying to go through the university, and I don't know how much I can talk about it, but the university, there's a lot of obstacles and barriers we have to go through in order to like, secure our vision, if that makes sense. So definitely like I'm not gonna like disregard like how much progress we made right now. Like it's amazing. I love to see the groups on there. I love to see the people who are using Mastermind Acknowledge as a whole. But I definitely thought we would be like further right now where we're at than when we were talking about it like maybe like a year ago.
I kind of agree with that too. Like it was like definitely because like the feedback that we were getting back was like so good, and so like when we first like brought it up to like the professors in school, like the feedback was still the same. Like they all love it, but then like what really like took us was like the process of getting anything done at like a higher ed institution. Like it's way longer than we ever thought it would be. We honestly, like I was telling you, honestly, like we talked to the two professors, they'll like push it out for us, like tell their higher ups, and then it'll just go that way. But like that's actually not the case at all. Like you actually have to make your case, and it's like even though like those professors, like even though they all loved it, like it's not their decision to make. Like you actually have to work your way up, and like there's like probably like 4 or 5 levels that you have to go through. And so like we're finally getting towards that, like I can't talk about too much, but we're finally getting towards that end of like getting to the final like higher up level to make the full on pitch. But
Sure.
It's crazy to see.
I feel like
there's a lot of progress in 1 year. Though. It's something to be proud of, for sure.
I feel like people don't usually think about like what you have to actually go through, and obstacles you gotta like overcome to actually make something, I guess, quote unquote official, or like a solidified thing. You can have that, you can make the app, but to get it used in these places or to get it published or whatever, like there's so much things that come with that too. So I feel like y'all did come a decent way.
Oh no, definitely.
And even like it's actually like even like now today's like I don't it doesn't seem as surprising anymore because like I don't know if y'all knew this, but like UIC's like they're switching from like Blackboard to Canvas, but like the whole process of it literally is going to take like a year and a half, and like we already know Canvas is already used by multiple institutions already, so it's like why don't they just push it out completely? It's like literally just how the universities are, like everything's slowly.
Gotta go through a whole process.
Exactly.
It's crazy, bro.
So besides you two, who else is involved in Acknowledge, or any other team members or mentors you guys have, anything like that?
Yeah, I can start with that. We have two other team members. Their names are Shpatim and Fawaz. Shpatim is actually one of my close friends. I was talking to the idea about him, and well, he's pre-med, so he's not even computer science at all.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to like have that kind of person on the team. But as me, Michael, and Fawaz are all comp sci majors, right? We don't have like that scope of like the pre-med field and like that whole like area and section. But Timmy, we call him Timmy. That's his nickname. Timmy is dude, he's smart. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to expose him, but
MCAT score.
he's a smart guy. Like, think of like the perfect student, MCAT score, all that. Like, he's crazy. So he's really locked in with like the people within the pre-health space. So having him, and when I proposed the idea to him, because he's my close friend, right? He was like, dude, yeah, I'll help out. And that was like, just from that, we've gotten like a lot of users, a lot of like connections from that. But I think a big thing when we bring people onto the team is that like they know they're not doing this for like any like financial gain. They're doing it just to like help us out. They see the vision in our platform, and I think that's the type of people we bring on. You want to talk about Fawaz?
Yeah, so like I've known Fawaz since my freshman year. Both took CS 111 together, just sitting in the back listening to Professor Hayes.
Yeah.
And then like when I first like introduced the idea to him, and I think it was in 251, data structures. And like I was just like talking about it because I was just passing out flyers like to everyone in the class.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, Mike, you made this?" And I was like, "Yeah, like me and a friend had made it." And he was like really ecstatic about it. He was like, "Oh, there's like," first thing he said, like, "If there's any way I can help, just let me know." And I know like he had a previous business before, like he did like a clothing brand.
Oh, he was part of what was it called? SCW. Was he part of SCW?
Yeah, with Kamal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like they had done a clothing brand before, so I was like, he already has that like business aspect of it, and like that's something that like, I know me personally I didn't have. I don't think you had that either.
Not at all.
And so that was something I was like, since he said he wants help, I was like, we could really use his insight. And he's also CS too, so he understood the tech side, but like he already had that pre-business background a little bit. So I was like, that's something that's definitely like worthy to be on the team. And I honestly like. He's probably our best like speaker, like that man knows how to like he can sell you like
yeah, he's crazy.
That's cool. I feel like it's kind of crazy to see how when you're building a platform like a website, like it's mainly technical, but there's so many other ethics that actually go into it that nobody even thinks about. Like you gotta be able to sell yourself, pitch yourself, reach out to other audience, get people to actually want to use it. Like there's so much more that comes with it. I
actually think that's like probably like the most important part too. Like just building out, like there's so many like great products out there that like aren't being used just simply because like no one knows about it. And like so like that marketability, like that's extremely important like for anything to have success.
I feel like it's good to like you guys are all like quote unquote close in age, college students. So you guys are all in the same kind of headspace, same living situation type of thing. So like you guys are all able to connect through that and kind of like pivot into like college and school and everything. How do you guys balance maintaining the startup while school, while doing internships or anything you guys else have going on?
You can go, yeah, you can go.
So for me personally, like I'm like super big on time management. It's something I had to like learn throughout high school because I played basketball like all through high school, and I was like, I had dreams of like going to the NBA and stuff. So like for real, like I would work out like 2-3 times a day. While like doing schoolwork, like maintaining my grades because my parents didn't play at all about grades. So like it kind of like from like was an early age that like I knew like how to manage my time, and as well when it came to acknowledge, like it was even bigger like for college because of like with the workload of like computer science, and then like also like with running acknowledge too, whether it's meetings or like actually having to code for it or like come up with ideas or like sit in meetings and talk to other people. It was something that I was like super like important. Like I really need to manage my time. So like certain times, like if I get off, like let's say I get off my school day, I'm like doing work for like 2-3 hours, not gonna do anything else, and then like now I have the rest of the time to like do whatever I want. But I always made sure that I was like doing like small steps like every day, so that I didn't have to like cram like a project or an assignment all into one day because I knew like then it would take up my whole day and I wouldn't have any time. But also like with time management, like I'm super big on free time too.
Yeah.
Like I love like you see me at the gym all the
Yeah.
time. Like yeah, so like that's something
I
that
thinking,
like
how is he in here doing all this thing? Like,
I get asked that a lot, and like honestly, it's like because like I really try to like maximize my time as much as possible. So like even like sometimes in class where like if I know the professor's like low key, like some of them just yap.
yeah.
So like I might just be doing work the whole time, like yeah. And
that.
so yeah, I'm always trying to make sure like if I have some time to like get at least a small part of something done, I'll get it done so that I can always have like some free time to like give to myself and like yeah, so I don't get stressed out and nothing like that.
That makes sense. What about you?
Yeah, for me, I'm not like Mike. I wish I was better at time management. I really do. But pretty recently, I've been really good about like using Google Calendar. I use Notion, if you know what that is, for like my to-dos and all that, just planning out my day. Something that's been really helping me, especially with Acknowledge now, is just planning my day one day at a time. So like I'll plan my day out for tomorrow, like tonight, be like, okay, what do I have to do? What do I need to get done? And I think that's been really, really helpful, especially like now when we're going to like in-class presentations, right? Like, okay, what class do I want to go to? Which professor do I want to talk to? And also with my assignments, right? Oh, I need a project that's due a week from now. What am I going to do for that project tomorrow, right? Making sure I get those to-dos done has been so helpful. And I think taking my life like day by day has been really productive, at least for me, because now it's like, okay, I only have so much time on my day, right? And I set aside my free time, like Michael was saying, like it's so important to have that free time for like the gym or whatever. Just taking it day by day and playing that out has been super productive for me. And this is something I started implementing recently. I mean, I'm sure like Michael can tell you, last year I maybe wasn't the greatest with like time management and everything, getting my tasks done for Acknowledge and all that. But I think this year implementing that has been so much better about it. So yeah, that's how I handle it right now.
Pretty cool. I feel like one thing that's essential as like a college student is everyone who I talk to who's like good at time management, they always use a calendar, like a Notion or something like that, to just track their one assignment, and then also any regular other like to do tasks. Like I feel like everyone who's good at time management uses calendars or so to just organize their thoughts and stuff.
Sure, you need to. There's so much stuff going on.
And you're bound to forget about something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like it's also a crazy shift from high school to college too.
It's crazy.
Because in high school, like at least for me, all I was working on was basketball, soccer, school. That's literally all I have to do. So I would literally go to school, come home, and I had the whole day for like whatever. Out here it's way differently because you got all these projects that are basically self-managed. You got to do it yourself, spread it out yourself, and you have assignments. And then if you're working, you got work too. Like it's so much things you got to balance on top of each other. So I feel like all college students are kind of similar in that aspect, no matter what they're doing or what their grind is.
Yeah.
So I know in kind of startup culture, it's kind of normal that there's like one person doing multiple roles and like juggling a lot of things. So how do you guys split up your workload? Like who does what? What does that look like inside of Acknowledge?
So
good question.
I'll say like for us, like for the four of us, like we all kind of like did like a little bit of everything. So like at least like in terms of like coding and development, it would mainly be just like me and Albert. But like anything that came to like business, like whether it's like making the PowerPoint presentations when we're pitching, or like doing like in-class presentations, or just like even talking to other people, like we all like kind of like take like smaller like roles inside of all of it. So like for example, like let's say like we're working on a pitch for like a competition that we're having, like one of us might be making the slides while the other one's like thinking of like, oh, who should do what parts and what, like should someone like do like these certain types of slides, or we're talking about our impact, someone's discussing over like the problem versus like the solution and like how do we go about it, and then we can all like work through it together. So we're all like using like our strengths like while we're like planning like different things. So like me, Albert's strength is like clearly the coding side, so like we'll take more of that responsibility than like Fawaz or Timmy. But like if it's like business stuff, like we're giving that to Fawaz, like he's figuring that stuff out. Like, and then we'll just like listen and like we'll talk about and like debate about like what his plan was from there. And the same with Timmy, on like anything like medical, or like even like Timmy's like comes up with like great ideas on the spot.
He's insane. The way he uses his like brain, the way he like creates like these like certain scenarios and use cases is just like like, wait, how'd you think about that?
It's honestly insane. Yeah.
Crazy. So the question was what splitting up workloads.
Yeah.
So I had nothing else.
Do you guys use any AI tools or anything like that to kind of help you with your workflow?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
most
yeah,
definitely,
oh
most
yeah, oh yeah.
What do y'all use?
You
So
know.
like, anytime I'm like brainstorming ideas, like I always have like, let's say if I have an idea in my mind, like I always like put it to ChatGPT,
Yeah.
like just like to expand upon it. Like maybe there's something I'm like forgetting about it or like some edge case I'm missing. So like most of the time when I bring ideas to them, it's like I've already like at least done like some portion of like thinking it through.
Yeah.
And then also like at least like once you have an idea, it's like, oh, how do you execute it from there? So I always have like some of those like ideas like just in mind, and then like we'll like in a meeting we'll like discuss them all. Coding wise, I was using VS Code for like a long time.
Yeah.
But then when I interned this summer, like at Amazon, they had this like own like AI tool that they were using called Climb. Yeah, or like C-Line or something like that. But like I wasn't using it at first because I was like, oh, I didn't even know if that was like supposed to do that or anything like that. But then like some of my other coworkers, they was like, oh yeah, you gotta do that. It makes you way faster. And like honestly, I tried it out like, and then like I think it was like the last like 4 or 5 weeks of the internship, got so much work done so quickly. I was like, yeah, I gotta do it like for Behinjd too. Now like both of us are like starting to use like Cursor now. I don't know if you still use it or you still use
I still use VS Code, but I use Cursor for like a long a solid like month. Yeah, it's like a solid month, and dude, it was great. I'm just frugal. I'm not trying to pay that $20 a month subscription.
I feel that, bro.
But I might have to, dude. When there's more acknowledge features coming out, I might have to swap onto Cursor. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
Well, you guys are talking about the mastermind feature. That is like basically AI, right? Or how does that work?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we can talk. Yeah, so basically the way it works is that like a student can like upload like their notes or like their study materials, such as like their notes for like the professor's like lecture slides.
Yeah.
And what we'll do from there, we just basically like take the text from it, or like if it's like images, like we can extract like the text from the images or like the image itself.
Yeah.
And then like from there on out, like we have like these different like AI tools that like can then like spit them out in different ways. So like for example, like the first one's like a concept explainer. It's basically like we can look at like the context, like so if a user like gives a question, let's say like they're talking about like biology or something like that, and they're talking about, let's say like mitosis and stuff, so we can like store all the information from the slides that they had, and then anytime they ask a question, it'll pull the relevant information from their slides that were related to the question that they asked. And so then it like uses like one of just any like AI model to then just like fully explain that topic, but it would use the context of what they were learning in class.
Is that retrieval augmentation?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I did a little bit of that after my internship at DPI. I went to like Argonne for a little boot camp thing, and I had a project on literally that.
For real?
Oh no way.
Yeah, we used I think it was OpenAI 3 or something, or some like old AI model, and we were feeding it like documents, like text files and stuff, and then using that as like context. And then we were like prompting it to respond as like a teacher or respondent or whatever to kind of give you a more like personalized message. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's so much like I don't know if you've experienced this with like your experience, your project, right? But the responses it gives out, it's so much better than like using regular ChatGPT. Even with like I know ChatGPT 5 like recently came out. Mastermind just gives like it explains it so much better according to the notes. It's like, you know, it's like your professor is teaching you. It's legit like your professor is teaching you because they're getting it right from the notes, right from the context. So yeah.
So in this day and age, you hear a lot of stories about like people using ChatGPT. I think there was a study where like they had one group use ChatGPT to write an essay, and like the brain scan showed like their brain was shrinking or things like that. You hear a lot of stories. I think Stanford did it or something, but you hear stories like that. But there's another side of using AI to help you and benefit you. How important do you guys think that is to kind of take advantage of those tools and make your life a little easier?
No, I think it's so important. I think it's important for like productivity, but there, of course, right, according to the study, there's like some downsides. You can't be reliant on it.
For sure.
Like it's like oh, where am I gonna go out to eat? You can't just ask ChatGPT that. You know what I mean? It's like you can't ask it for every question of your life. You know, there's definitely like a limit. But I can say for acknowledge, right? How I've been using it in my workflow is like I ask it like super technical like stuff I don't understand, and then I go a step further, right? I go Google it. I see like, is this true? Is this accurate? Because I don't know if you ever experienced this, but ChatGPT it does hallucinate. Like sometimes it just says like some completely incorrect stuff.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good to like use it to be like speed up your workflow, but you can't just be. It's not 100% true all the time, right? You gotta make sure like, okay, wait, that's definitely not right. Like a cat is not a dog. You know what I mean? Like no, like it's for real though. Like you can't always be reliant on it. You gotta use your own brain, and I think that's how you mitigate like the not using your brain when you're using AI. You can't just be like copy paste whatever. You gotta actually think about it, and I think that's the best way to use AI. Like think through its responses. Make sure you're actually thinking like, okay, is this good? Is this how I want to use it? All of that. I say that because I used to be that guy. I used to be like, oh, this code works, paste. I'm not looking at it again. But then later down the line, it ruins the way you think. Like I kid you not, I couldn't write a single line of code by myself because of how reliant I was. So I had to switch so fast because when I realized that. I don't know. You want to say your
definitely
piece?
like. So I completely agree like what his points are like for sure like anytime like you're using AI you definitely want to make sure that like yes it could like just give you the answer straight up but like at least for me personally I always try to make sure that like if it's something that I didn't know that like I'm actually like trying to like use it to like learn because like it's kind of like I always think about it as like it's like having like someone that can teach you at any point that you want. So like anything that I'm like really confused about or I'm not really too sure of I can access that like any like school related stuff. But like I also agree with like using it for like productivity. So like stuff that you already know how to do that's like oh it's just tedious or something like that. Just do it for me like and then I can easily just skim over it like oh yeah this right and then just go from there. I feel like the biggest part is just like learning and like being able to do that because like when it first came out like I was a senior in high school and so like senior year I'm like already zoned out and stuff like that. I use it for all my essays and stuff like that, just wrote everything up. But then when I came to college and then like CS was like and then like calc was like honestly kicking my ass. But like, I was like, let me actually use it to like actually like try and learn some of the stuff, especially like when it came to like I don't know like you did like the my labs and stuff. Those questions.
Doing that right bro, the my labs have me stressing, bro.
Yeah, like and like the stuff, it's like not even stuff like some stuff's like way harder than like you also don't see that little like it's like loose shoulder solution thing or video. And so like those was like some ones that I like really want to learn. But like the best way I can like kind of explain this like it's kind of like a calculator. Like in calc right now like they teach you like to do it like by yourself like so you actually know how to do it. But even though most of this stuff can be done with the calculator,
it's just fast.
And it's like but it's also better that you actually know how to do it so that like when it comes to like well calculators are inerrant but like let's say AI is not inerrant. So like you actually can like check it over super quick. And even like when it translates to like coding and stuff like that, like certain stuff if I know how to do it, I can like tell the AI exactly what should be done and then I can like look over and be like, okay, this is correct. But I can catch an error if I saw it. But if I didn't know how to do it myself, I would just say, oh yeah, this looks right. Okay, go ahead.
So that's crazy you brought up the my lab thing. Because
I got some of them due to
bro, literally last year, I forgot what part of the year. I think it was the beginning part of the year. I was in Calc 2, I think, and I was working on my labs. And for a while, I came into the room, and he was like, "No way, you're working on the my labs by yourself and actually doing it." I was really sitting there with my lab open that pencil. I was writing down for like hours trying to figure out the questions, and I kept getting it wrong. And he just told me to like use chat to like help me learn it, and it changed completely how I was doing like all the homework and stuff. It made everything like way quicker.
Yeah, for sure. So it's important to take advantage of all the tools that are available nowadays.
I feel like at first I was scared, not scared, but like I didn't want to use AI to do work. It's like I wanted to actually learn it, but you can learn. I feel like even better using AI, and you just save so much time doing it too. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but
when it first came out, I was in high school too, and literally in like the beginning of the year, people would use AI to write their essays and stuff. And it was kind of a new thing, so the teacher didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw in like the middle of the year, she started like, oh, this sounds like AI, it sounds like AI. So the whole like grading policy changed. It's crazy
Yeah.
to see that like in the middle of the year.
I feel like now though, even some professors are like, some of them encourage using AI because they know that you're gonna use it regardless. But like they're like, don't just use it and copy and paste because they'll be able to tell they like encourage you to like use it, learn from it, and then like use it to kind of like sharpen your mind rather than just using it just copy and paste it. I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that change.
I think chat, they have like a learning mode now. I think
Yeah.
they just released that. I've been trying to use that more.
What's that about?
You know, if you ask the teacher about a topic or anything like that, it'll actually
Like break it down to
talk you
steps.
through it, right? Guide you
Yeah.
through it, give you questions instead of just telling you the answer. It'll like teach you.
They'll like do like prompting and stuff, like you know. how that
No,
works?
so it's a mode. If you're in the study mode and you ask the teacher about something, usually if you give it a problem, it'll just tell you the answer. It'll show you
Yeah.
step by step. But the learning mode,
It's
it'll
actually teaching you.
yeah, it'll
way
like
how to do it.
ask you questions to see like where you're at.
If
with
you're
it.
understanding it,
Yeah,
so.
things like that.
That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like it's moving fast too. Like I remember just yesterday when they came out, like people were just using it. It wasn't even accurate for real. But now like you can build out a whole project just putting in a prompt to AI, it'll build it all for you.
Mm-hmm.
No,
so
it's
crazy.
insane.
Crazy where we live. So, what after that? So you guys talked about how it started, what it's like now. Where do you guys see Acknowledge going? What do you see in the future? What are your goals for Acknowledge, and what are you doing to make those goals come true?
Yeah, I think we have some pretty like big aspirations, especially for Acknowledge. Like we want to see Acknowledge in like so many universities, maybe all the universities in America. That's one. We also want to see as many students as possible. You know, obviously, you want to see the numbers validate that. But I think a big goal of ours is definitely being like every university in America. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like being like in as many schools as possible.
Yeah.
Because like honestly, like the whole like mission and goal of it was like to help students, and like especially like for at least like a big reason why I'm like so passionate about it. Is, like I remember my freshman year, and I didn't really know too many people like here at UIC, especially from my high school. So it's like really like trying to reach out to people or like trying to get help in like these super hard classes. Like it was difficult to do that. And honestly, without like the help of like friends or like anyone to bounce ideas off of, like honestly, I probably would have failed like the majority of my stuff.
I feel that.
And so like even to this day, like I still like study in groups. Like I really like I was like studying on my own like a little bit, but like I love studying in groups, especially before exams. Like I do it before every single exam. Like I'm studying with someone, so like if it's something that I don't know,
You just ask
I don't.
them.
Yep. Just ask someone, like most likely someone in like if you're a group of friends like knows the answer, or at least they'll figure out how to get the answer, and then y'all teach each other from there.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that alone can be applied to like so many aspects of life, like not even just academics, whether it's like sports or like like whether it's I don't know, really anything. Like but yeah, like there's so many aspects of life, like just like being like collaborative with other people, like even in work. Like I mean, some professors like they don't encourage like working with other people. They like try and like encourage independence, but like that's not how the world is at all.
Yeah.
Like if like in the workforce, like you got to be able to work with people, and like you learn so much faster by working with other people. So
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think part of getting it to every school, you gotta start with UIC. I think like
Yeah.
you guys going to classes, that's important because you were in my class and I already knew about it, but like that's because there's definitely people in there that didn't know about it and never heard about it. So taking it one class at a time, that's important. Kind of building your user base and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, we both seen y'all in our classes and stuff, and then I've seen you at MHub. Where else you guys like pitch or like talk about knowledge or anything like that?
So we do like the Acknowledge pitch competitions. So we did 2 last year, demo day. Oh, actually 3 because the one in the summer as well, right? Pitch competitions I think are a great way to like spread the word of Acknowledge out. The most recent, what was it called? The most recent one?
it was the Paul's University Pitch Madness.
Yeah.
So like DePaul hosted it. It was over the summer in July, and then they invite like pretty like 9 or 10 like different universities. So like I know like WashU was there, Urbana-Champaign, like all these like schools that are like in the Midwest area. They all came, and they have like, it's like the students like groups like us like just like pitching their ideas, like and so you like learn about other people. But also like you get to like flesh your idea out, and like there's actually like other like professionals or like industry people there.
Trying to give y'all feedback and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
That's hard.
But it's also like the same way we get outreach as well to these other universities. Like I was gonna say at that pitch competition, we met so many people from like, what was it? NIU. There was another DePaul. U Chicago. Like
Yeah.
all these universities, like they had like their. I don't know, were they professors, directors? They came up to our table and we were just connecting to that. And it's a really natural way to just be like, oh, acknowledge could help their university, and then from there you know do your outreach, see if they respond, and I don't think I can talk about it, but we've had some success with that.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And even with that, it's like so like those are like just the pitch competitions, but like besides like the classroom presentations, we'll do like events too. So like let's say if like we see like any like org or like university group that like we think like could like better benefit like by using Acknowledge. So last year we partnered with like UIC Housing in order to like do like for like the peer mentors. Like you were in JSC too.
No, I was not in JSC.
You was in JC?
I was in Courtyard.
Courtyard? For real?
I was always in JSC last year.
But yeah, so like we partner with like UIC Housing for like some of like peer mentors, like they would have us like set up like some of the study groups, but then also like we were trying to get more into like even like some like the tutoring centers too, because like honestly I thought this was just a UIC problem, but it's actually like a problem across a lot of schools. A bunch of the like tutoring centers or like their academic help, they're scattered across like so many different websites that like a lot of students just don't even know about it. Like even last year, I did not know we had an engineering learning center at all. Like I know some students who've never heard of the MSLC, and like
I've heard that. I've never been there. I don't think.
Yeah, like and it's like a lot of like things that we have as resources for like students who need help, but like a lot of them don't know about it because the information is like so scattered. Like there's so many places to look for it, and even like our professors, like they post stuff like one might put it on Blackboard, other might put it on Piazza, one might put it on like their syllabus or something like that. Like you never know where it's at. And so like to try and like centralize the information or like work with the people like to centralize that information, that was another thing that we kind of did for outreach.
Cool.
Man, that's dope.
You already asked them the question from the other episode, right?
No, we didn't do that yet. I guess we can get that. So for that last, so looking back, what if you were like starting from scratch again? What things would you guys have done different, and what advice would you have to anybody looking to start a startup, maybe kind of balancing school and life or anything like that?
It's a good question.
Nah, that's a deep question.
That is okay, a deep question. Let me think about that.
In terms of advice, I like at least like for me personally, I would dare say like for myself, like if I had to change something, I would like definitely do a lot more outreach further on. Like I kind of neglected like the actual like business side of like doing a startup. Like I really like because I was like I've never done one before, and like I was thinking everything tech, like oh we need this feature, that feature, this feature, that feature. But honestly, you just need like a couple features, and then like get it out there, get people to try, get people to use it, get people to know about it, and then from there on out, like when you add other things, like people will like it'll grow from there, and like even like people will like talk to other people about you, and that's something that like honestly like the first semester when we did so much work of like going around campus like trying to get the word out, where now today like we don't have to do like crazy amounts because like most of it's like gets done for us. Like someone might email us, say hey, do you want to come speak to these groups of students, or do you want to come to this event? Like even we just did an event like 2 weeks ago where they asked us to come. So like literally just like doing like getting good connections and like knowing people and like just trying to like market yourself better. Like that was definitely something that I would say like for us that if we would have did that earlier, we could have been a lot bigger today.
I mean, it definitely makes sense, especially in this era. I feel like we're in an age of like a lot of social media, a lot of things are being pushed online. So being able to just branch out, have people advocate for you is a big thing too.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree on that. Having that outreach starting way sooner is definitely something that I definitely think we could have changed. Like looking back on it, like we had our platform, right? We had our MVP like really fast, like a lot faster than I think a lot of other people would expect. But when it came to outreach, getting that user base, because at the end of the day, right, our platform relies on students using it. So starting way sooner would have been, I think, a great change. I think for me personally though, Going back on like that time management thing, I wish I time managed a lot better. I think, especially like if you talk to Mike, I think my time management wasn't the best. I definitely could have put a lot more time into Acknowledge. I guess like I was really focused on school, right? I wanted my GPA to be high. I wanted because that's just the end of it. I wanted good grades, right? I wanted good grades, but I think there was too much of an emphasis on good grades. Not saying that you shouldn't take school, as like a first priority, but there's definitely a point where it's like, okay, I think I've studied enough for today. Let me start put some work into Acknowledge, or okay, this is a high priority for Acknowledge. Let me skip the gym for today. Let me put that time, right? There's been a lot of cases where, and maybe this is just me speaking out loud now, but I think I should have put so much more time into Acknowledge, so we could like be faster, so we can move faster. Because Michael's done a lot when it comes to like, no, I'm not even just saying that just to be nice. I'm like, it's true. Michael's done a lot, and I think that if I was better back then about like my time management, just getting stuff done, it would have been a lot easier to like move forward and be faster and more efficient. So yeah, I wish I was better at time management, and I wish I could be better when looking back on it.
For sure.
What was the second part of your question?
What advice would you have to anyone else looking to start a startup?
Oh,
In your same shoes.
Like students.
Students too.
I think for me, it's the same thing I said at MHub. It's starting. Starting is the hardest part. You need to start, and then once you start, it gets everything rolling. Like, cause for us,
Yeah, we can definitely attest.
yeah, like it's easy to say like I have this great idea, right? But it's something else to be like I'm actually doing this. When you take that first step, whether that be for us creating that GitHub repository, or like getting all like the equipment necessary to do this idea, or paying that subscription for like a video editing service, right? Then it's like, okay, this is real. Let me start doing it. And I think for me also, it's something you gotta be passionate about. It's also something I said at Hub. A lot of people are like, be passionate, but be reasonable about being passionate. But I don't think that's like very I don't think that's very plausible, right? If you're being reasonable about your passion, it's like, are you really that passionate about it? I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Like it's like, okay, like you're putting these restrictions already on yourself, right? You don't see like how this idea can blow up. I think that's something you
gotta be delusional almost.
yeah, exactly. You gotta be like, this works. I know this works. Of course, don't be like, you gotta think about it, but like, yeah, be passionate about it. Like actually commit to your idea. This is something you believe in. It's something you can work. I think that's something that's really important, especially when you're starting your startup. Because what happens like 2 years down the road, you're being passionate but like reasonable. You start losing that passion, right? It's like, okay, I didn't really believe in this as much as I thought. This is something you really gotta hone down. This is your idea. This is your startup. This is your business, right? I think that's my advice for people starting.
You said you play basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like playing basketball is something you kind of have naturally, like
That delusion.
crazy confidence.
Yeah.
That's something I feel like I came in to college with already. So
I know for me, like it took like way longer to do that, because like one of my biggest flaws, like with sports in general, was like the confidence aspect. Like, because like I trained a lot, but I like during my freshman and sophomore years, like I had no confidence in myself. Like someone's like, "Oh, dare him to shoot!" Like,
You're not shooting.
yeah, it's like straight to the basket every time. But like definitely like confidence comes definitely with like one, believing in yourself, and then like also like the work that you put in. And like that's like something that I take from like sports to apply to like the startup culture too. And like to agree with like what Albert was saying, it's like definitely like just starting. It's like one of like probably that's probably the best advice I can give. Like definitely just to start, because when you like just thinking about any idea, like you say like, oh, I need this and this, and then like you start thinking like, oh, am I ready? Like you're never gonna feel ready. Like it's never gonna happen. Like even today, like sometimes we don't feel ready at all for like certain things, but really just like taking that first step. And then like, because also you're not gonna have all the answers that you want as well. Like stuff is just gonna come up, And like you're also gonna learn new things. Like you may have thought like, okay, maybe this was the best way at first, and then it just changes out of nowhere because of what you learned from like the experience or like what you heard from someone else. So just starting is like probably the most important thing. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all can say the same thing with this too. Like I bet like it's like what equipment to get and stuff like that.
That was our whole like step by step what we did. Literally, the first thing we did was I told him the idea and he said let's do it. So I had bought the mics first thing. This was before we even had an episode recorded or anything. Bought the mics, and then we made the TikTok account, made the YouTube account. So we already had everything set up. Now literally all we had to do was just record it and actually do it. We were already so deep in. It was like if we don't do it, it's like
it's a waste.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
First episode though, we recorded an hour. We lost 45 minutes of footage.
Damn,
the camera
bro.
died.
No way.
But it's like things like that you learn along the way, and it's you either quit or you keep going and figure it out. So,
I think we're running a little bit over time, but what we do normally is at the end of each episode, we have the previous guest ask a question for the next guest to answer, and then y'all, after y'all answer, you're gonna ask a question for the next guest to answer.
Okay.
So the last question was, what's holding you guys back, and what are you guys doing to kind of overcome those obstacles?
Damn.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who's your last guest, dude?
He's a barber. His name is Danny. He's not going to college and focusing full time on going to doing barber.
Oh wow.
So definitely a passionate guy too.
shout out Danny.
Well, make sure it's still recording real quick. I ain't gonna lie. that's the storage full.
It's a good question, dude. It's a really good question.
Yeah, we're good.
I bet.
It's holding us back. Like that's a great
Honestly, like if I'm speaking like for me and like the team, like if like from my perspective, I would definitely say like it's full on commitment, and like I think it's also like a shift of like priorities. Because at least like this is something that like my dad was talking to me about. He's like yes, like school is important, but then like what's the goal of going to school in the first place? Like it's to get like a job, or like so you can have a successful career. And so like if this is something that like we want to like become big, where like you would be able to like support your family off of, like eventually you're gonna have to make that transition to say that like this is now the priority, where it's like if I want this to become full time, like after school, this is what's gonna be there. Like when I graduate from here, like this will be gone. I'll have my knowledge from here. I have my degree. But if this really blows up, did the degree really matter in the first place? Like you're gonna continue learning no matter what. So I would definitely say like it's like the transition to like full on commitment. But then it's like it's also hard to do that at the same time because like you still don't know like what if happens, like what if it fails, and then it's like now I just like forsake my education that like I'm paying for it. But it's really like it's honestly the risk of like any business at the same time. But you also have to need to like be smart enough to take calculated risks of like so like if I know for me personally I'm like slowly shifting my priorities from like school. I can know I can slack less on this so that I can like put more time in this. So
No, I mean that's basically it. I think that's what's holding us back is like that priority, right? Especially, and I can speak for like most of the team. We all care about our school. We all care about our education. We want to get that degree, right? But if we had put all of our time into Acknowledge, we could definitely be moving way faster, just getting out more features, right? And that's just the matter of the fact. But I think Michael, you said it all right there.
And now like I can also like completely understand it too, because like I think at one point like 3 of us had 4.0s, and like I know Fawaz's stuff is still high, so it's like we all had like crazy GPAs, but like now it's like you still got your.
You don't have your 4.0?
Bro, I lost mine last semester.
I'm not gonna.
Honestly, not to rant, but like it's the craziest story. I missed it by 0.04.
No way.
I'm being so serious. He wouldn't round up either.
No way.
So like right now I got a 3.95, but like it's still good. But it's like, but like I wanted that for like that. But like it's something that's like,
Oh, what's a question for the next guy?
It could be anything. It could be stupid. It could be deep. Whatever. Without knowing who the next guest is, whatever you want to ask.
Well, I'm trying to think, dude.
The one I'm thinking is like I say like, what's your why? What you mean?
I think that's a good
Okay.
one.
Like my next question would definitely be like, what's your why? Like, why are you like doing what you're doing, and how does that keep you motivated?
Yeah.
That's a decent question. Decent question. I don't know who's gonna answer that, but if you made this far in the video, thank you for watching.
If you got any suggestions on what we can do better, any feedback, or any guests you'd like to see on the podcast, feel free to leave it in the comment section below.
Don't forget, make sure to like,
Comment,
comment, subscribe.
subscribe.
Next time.
Thanks for watching.